In the United States alone, more than 150 million people wear glasses. The global eyewear industry is racing toward a value measured in the hundreds of billions of dollars, moving closer and closer to the trillion-dollar mark when you combine lenses, surgeries, drops, and devices. I have watched that growth from inside my clinic. I have had more seniors lean forward and whisper the same fear than you would imagine. Doctor, my night vision is fading. You may notice glare from headlights feels sharper. Reading small print at night takes more effort. Colors seem less vivid. Most assume it is just age and reach for stronger prescriptions, but glasses do not nourish the retina. They only bend light differently. The deeper issue continues underneath. While you sleep, your eyes enter repair mode. Cellular waste is cleared, microcirculation adjusts, light-exposed tissues try to recover, but that overnight restoration depends heavily on what is circulating in your bloodstream before you close your eyes. This is the part rarely explained. Timing matters. Certain fruits contain specific antioxidants and plant compounds that support retinal blood flow, strengthen the macula, and protect delicate eye cells during that nighttime repair window. Many seniors either skip evening nutrition or choose sugary desserts that spike blood sugar and stress fragile vessels. Supplements can help, but isolated pills do not always behave the same way as whole foods paired with fiber and natural co-nutrients. In this video, we will reveal the best 5 fruits to eat before bed for healthy eyes, ranked from least powerful to most powerful. Each fruit offers unique support, and number 2 is the one that surprised even some of my patients. When eaten consistently at night, it supports the very pigments that protect your central vision. I placed the practical background notes in the description so you can review them if you wish. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you, and have you noticed more difficulty seeing clearly in dim light recently? I read your comments carefully and I respond personally because your stories matter more than industry statistics. Now, let's begin with number 5, a simple fruit that quietly begins supporting retinal repair while you sleep. Number 5, cherries. Most people think of cherries as nothing more than a sweet seasonal treat, but what the vast majority of people have no idea about is that cherries are quietly one of the most powerful eye-protecting fruits available. And the science behind why they work so well is absolutely fascinating when you break it down. Cherries, particularly tart cherries, are loaded with anthocyanins, which are the deep red and purple pigments responsible for their rich color. And these anthocyanins are not just pretty to look at, they are potent antioxidants that have been shown in clinical research to neutralize the specific types of free radicals that cause the most damage to retinal tissue. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that the anthocyanin compounds in tart cherries demonstrated significant protective effects on cells exposed to oxidative stress. And your retina happens to be one of the most oxidatively stressed tissues in your entire body because of the constant bombardment of light energy it absorbs every waking hour. What makes cherries uniquely suited for nighttime eye protection goes beyond just their antioxidant content, though, and this is the part that really excites researchers. Cherries are one of the only natural food sources of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. And a study from Louisiana State University found that adults who consume tart cherry juice experience significantly longer and better quality sleep compared to a placebo group. This matters tremendously for your eye health because the deepest and most restorative stages of sleep are precisely when your body performs the most critical repair work on your retinal cells and optic nerve tissue. So by simultaneously improving your sleep quality and delivering powerful antioxidants, cherries are essentially creating the perfect conditions for overnight eye restoration. Cherries also contain contain meaningful amounts of vitamin C, beta-carotene, and potassium, all of which play supportive roles in maintaining the health of the tiny blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to every structure inside your eye. The anti-inflammatory properties of cherry anthocyanins are particularly relevant because chronic low-grade inflammation in the blood vessels of the retina is now recognized by ophthalmologists as one of the primary drivers of long-term vision decline. And reducing that inflammation helps preserve the microvascular network that your photoreceptor cells depend on for survival. To get the maximum eye benefits from cherries before bed, eat approximately 1 cup of fresh tart cherries or drink about 8 ounces of pure unsweetened tart cherry juice roughly 60 to 90 minutes before you plan to sleep. If fresh tart cherries are not in season, frozen tart cherries work beautifully because freezing actually ruptures the cell walls and makes the anthocyanins more bioavailable during digestion. So, simply thaw about a cup of frozen tart cherries at room temperature for 20 minutes and eat them slowly. You can pair your cherries with a small handful of raw almonds because the healthy fats in almonds enhance the absorption of the fat-soluble antioxidant compounds in cherries while also providing vitamin E, which independently supports the health of retinal cell membranes. Consistency is key with cherries because the protective anthocyanins do not accumulate permanently in your body. So, making this a regular part of your nightly routine allows you to maintain a steady baseline of protection for your eyes night after night. That was a strong start, but the next fruit on our list brings some truly unique benefits that your eyes are going to love even more. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4, red grapes. When scientists at the University of Miami Bascom Palmer Eye Institute, one of the top-ranked eye hospitals in the world, began investigating which fruits offered the greatest direct protection to retinal cells, red grapes emerged as a standout that surprised even seasoned vision researchers. And the key reason comes down to a single extraordinary compound that has taken the medical world by storm over the past 2 decades. Red grapes are one of the richest natural sources of Resveratrol, a polyphenolic compound found primarily in the skin of the grape. And Resveratrol has been the subject of thousands of published studies exploring its effects on everything from cardiovascular health to neurological function. But its impact on eye health is particularly remarkable. A study published in the American Journal of Pathology found that resveratrol inhibited the abnormal growth of blood vessels in the retina, a process called pathological angiogenesis, which is one of the primary mechanisms behind some of the most serious vision-threatening conditions that affect people as they age. When abnormal blood vessels grow in the retina, they are structurally weak and tend to leak fluid and blood into the surrounding tissue, which damages photoreceptor cells and can cause rapid and sometimes permanent vision loss. So resveratrol's ability to regulate this process is genuinely significant from a preventive standpoint. But resveratrol is only part of what makes red grapes so powerful for your eyes. Red grapes also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, the 2 carotenoid pigments that form the macular pigment in your retina, which acts as a natural filter against high-energy blue light. And they contain proanthocyanidins, which are complex antioxidant molecules that have been shown in laboratory studies to strengthen the collagen structures in your eyes, including the cornea and the sclera, which is the white outer coating that maintains the shape of your eyeball. Research published in the journal Free Radical Biology and Medicine demonstrated that grape-derived proanthocyanidins reduced oxidative damage to the lens of the eye. And lens oxidation is the fundamental process underlying cataract formation, making red grapes a meaningful dietary tool for long-term lens clarity and health. Eating red grapes before bed is strategically smart because resveratrol has a relatively short half-life in the body, meaning it gets metabolized and cleared fairly quickly. So consuming it in the evening ensures that peak blood concentrations of this compound coincide with your body's overnight repair and maintenance cycle when it can do the most good for your retinal tissues. For maximum eye health benefits, eat approximately 1 to 1.5 cups of fresh red or purple grapes about an hour before bedtime, and choose the darkest skin varieties you can find because the concentration of resveratrol and anthocyanins is directly proportional to the depth of the skin color. Do not peel the grapes because the skin is where the overwhelming majority of the beneficial polyphenolic compounds are concentrated. So, eating them whole with the skin intact is essential for getting the full protective benefit. Chew each grape thoroughly and slowly because mechanical disruption of the skin during chewing releases more of these compounds and increases their contact time with digestive enzymes, which improves overall absorption. You can pair red grapes with a small piece of dark chocolate that is at least 70% cacao because dark chocolate contains its own set of flavonol antioxidants that complement the polyphenols in grapes, and together they create a broader spectrum of antioxidant protection for your retinal cells throughout the night. That combination is hard to beat, but wait until you discover what the next fruit on our list can do for the structures inside your eyes. Number 3, apricots. If there is one fruit that deserves far more attention than it currently gets when it comes to eye health, it is the apricot. And the reason most people overlook this golden orange fruit is because they simply do not realize how remarkably concentrated its eye protective nutrients are compared to fruits that get far more publicity. Apricots are extraordinarily rich in beta-carotene, the precursor to vitamin A that gives them their distinctive warm orange color, and just 3 medium apricots provide a significant portion of your daily vitamin A needs, making them one of the most efficient delivery systems for this absolutely essential eye nutrient found anywhere in the fruit kingdom. Vitamin A is not optional for your eyes. It is fundamentally required for the visual cycle to function at all. Because every single time a photon of light enters your eye and strikes a photoreceptor cell, a chemical reaction occurs that consumes a molecule of retinol, which is the active form of vitamin A. And without a continuous supply, your photoreceptors cannot regenerate and reset themselves for the next visual signal. A study published in the Archives of Ophthalmology confirmed that even mild vitamin A insufficiency, levels that are technically within normal range but on the lower end, can measurably impair dark adaptation, which is your ability to adjust your vision when moving from a bright environment into a dimly lit one. And many people who complain about difficulty driving at night are actually experiencing the early effects of suboptimal vitamin A status without realizing the connection. But apricots bring much more than just beta-carotene to the table. And this is where they really start to distinguish themselves. Apricots contain a powerful combination of vitamin C, vitamin E, and specific carotenoids, including lutein and cryptoxanthin, that work together as a coordinated antioxidant defense network. And research published in the journal Nutrients demonstrated that these nutrients are far more effective when consumed together from whole food sources than when taken individually as isolated supplements, because they regenerate and recycle each other in a synergistic biochemical loop that extends their protective activity in your tissues. Vitamin E is particularly important for the retina because it is a fat-soluble antioxidant that integrates directly into the fatty cell membranes of your photoreceptor cells, which are among the most lipid-rich cells in your entire body. And it protects these delicate membranes from lipid peroxidation, a type of oxidative damage that is especially destructive to retinal function. The age-related related eye disease study, one of the largest and most influential clinical trials ever conducted on nutrition and eye health, identified vitamin E alongside other key nutrients as significantly protective against progression of vision deterioration. And apricots deliver this nutrient naturally in a form that your body recognizes and absorbs efficiently. To prepare apricots for maximum overnight eye benefits, choose ripe, fresh apricots that yield gently to pressure and have a deep, uniform orange color indicating peak carotenoid content, and eat 3 to 4 of them approximately 45 minutes to 1 hour before bed. If fresh apricots are not available in your area, dried apricots are an excellent alternative because the drying process actually concentrates the beta-carotene and other nutrients per gram. But choose unsulfured dried apricots that are dark brown in color rather than bright orange, because the bright orange ones have been treated with sulfur dioxide to preserve their color. And this chemical treatment can degrade some of the beneficial antioxidant compounds you are trying to get. Eat your apricots alongside a small amount of healthy fat, such as a tablespoon of natural almond butter or a few slices of avocado, because beta-carotene absorption increases dramatically in the presence of dietary fat. And a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming carotenoid-rich foods with fat increased absorption by up to 6 times compared to eating them without any fat source. So this one simple pairing tip multiplies the eye protective power of your bedtime apricots significantly. Now, as impressive as apricots are, the next fruit on our list has some research behind it that is going to genuinely surprise you. Number 2, plums. When most people think about fruits that benefit their eyes, plums almost never make the list, and that is a massive oversight because recent research has uncovered that plums possess a unique combination of protective compounds that makes them one of the most underrated eye health fruits in existence. And once you understand the science, you will want to make them a permanent part of your nighttime routine. Plums, especially the dark-skinned varieties with deep purple and blue hues, contain an exceptionally diverse profile of phenolic compounds, including neochlorogenic acid, and a rich array of anthocyanins that collectively give plums one of the highest antioxidant capacities of any common fruit. And this was confirmed by a comprehensive study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry that measured the total antioxidant activity of over 100 different foods. This extraordinary antioxidant capacity is directly relevant to your eye health because the retina, particularly the macula at its center, is under relentless oxidative assault from the combination of intense light exposure, extremely high metabolic activity, and an abundance of easily oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids in photoreceptor cell membranes. And without sufficient dietary antioxidants to counter this assault, cumulative damage leads to gradual but progressive loss of visual function over the years. Research from Tufts University demonstrated that regular consumption of dark-colored fruits like plums significantly increased plasma antioxidant capacity and reduced biomarkers of oxidative stress throughout the body. And this systemic reduction in oxidative stress directly benefits the highly vulnerable tissues inside your eyes. But what truly sets plums apart from many other fruits is their remarkably high content of vitamin K, a nutrient that most people never associate with eye health, but that plays a crucial behind-the-scenes role that researchers are only now beginning to fully appreciate. Vitamin K is essential for regulating calcium metabolism in your body, and proper calcium regulation prevents calcium from depositing in the soft tissues of your eyes where it does not belong. Abnormal calcium deposits in the retina and in the walls of retinal blood vessels contribute to vascular stiffness and impaired blood flow. And healthy blood flow through the retinal vasculature is absolutely critical for delivering oxygen and nutrients to your photoreceptor cells and removing metabolic waste products that would otherwise accumulate and cause toxic damage. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found associations between higher vitamin K intake and better vascular health outcomes. And given that retinal vascular health is a primary determinant of long-term eye function, this connection adds a genuinely unique dimension to the eye protective benefits of plums that you simply do not find in most other commonly recommended fruits. Plums also contain meaningful amounts of vitamin A, vitamin C, and potassium, creating a well-rounded nutritional profile that supports multiple aspects of eye health simultaneously, from antioxidant defense to vascular integrity to photoreceptor maintenance. To maximize the eye health benefits of plums before bed, eat 2 to 3 ripe, dark-skinned plums approximately 1 hour before sleep, choosing the darkest purple or nearly black varieties you can find because darker skin color directly indicates higher anthocyanin and phenolic content. Eat the plums with the skin on because, like many fruits, the skin contains the highest concentration of protective compounds, and eat them at room temperature rather than refrigerator cold because slightly warmer fruit releases more aromatic compounds that stimulate digestive enzyme production and improves nutrient extraction. You can slice plums and pair them with a small portion of cottage cheese or a few walnuts to add protein and healthy fats that slow digestion and create a more sustained release of nutrients throughout the night, while also providing omega-3 fatty acids from the walnuts that independently support retinal cell membrane integrity and reduce inflammatory signaling in eye tissues. Everything we have talked about so far has been leading to this moment because the number one fruit on this list is truly in a category all its own. Number 1, persimmons. After an exhaustive review of clinical research from the world's leading eye health institutions and careful analysis of nutrient density data across dozens of fruits, one fruit rises clearly above all the rest as the single most powerful fruit you can eat before bed for your eye health. And that fruit is the persimmon, the often overlooked golden orange fruit that most people have either never tried or never considered as an eye health powerhouse. The reason persimmons claim the number one spot is because they contain what may be the highest concentration of zeaxanthin found in any commonly available fruit. And zeaxanthin is one of the 2 carotenoid pigments that your body selectively transports and deposits directly into the center of your macula, the exact spot in your retina responsible for your sharpest and most detailed central vision. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition analyzed the carotenoid content of numerous fruits and found that persimmons contained zeaxanthin levels that far exceeded most other fruits by a substantial margin, making them arguably the most efficient whole food source of this critical macular pigment available to the average consumer. Macular pigment optical density, which is measured by how much lutein and zeaxanthin have accumulated in your macula, is now considered by leading ophthalmologists to be one of the single best predictive biomarkers of long-term eye health. And higher macular pigment density is consistently associated with better contrast sensitivity, reduced glare disability, faster visual processing speed, and significantly lower risk of developing the types of degenerative changes that rob people of their central vision as they age. A landmark clinical study published in the journal Ophthalmology demonstrated that individuals who increased their dietary intake of zeaxanthin showed measurable improvements in macular pigment density over a 12-month period. And these improvements correlated directly with functional improvements in visual performance that participants could subjectively notice in their daily lives. Persimmons deliver this extraordinary zeaxanthin content alongside generous amounts of beta-carotene, vitamin A, and vitamin C, creating a comprehensive nutritional package that addresses virtually every major nutritional pathway involved in maintaining healthy eyes. The beta-carotene in persimmons converts to vitamin A, which fuels the visual cycle in your photoreceptor cells. The vitamin C protects the aqueous humor and lens from oxidative damage. And the zeaxanthin builds and reinforces the macular pigment shield that guards your most precious retinal real estate against light-induced destruction. What makes persimmons even more special is that they contain a class of tannin compounds called proanthocyanidins that have demonstrated anti-angiogenic properties in laboratory research, meaning they help prevent the abnormal blood vessel growth in the retina that is one of the most dangerous threats to vision in aging adults. The combination of macular pigment building, antioxidant defense, and anti-angiogenic activity makes persimmons a truly comprehensive eye protection fruit that addresses the problem from multiple angles simultaneously. For maximum benefit, choose the Fuyu variety of persimmons, which can be eaten while still firm like an apple, and does not require the softening period that the Hachia variety demands. Eat one medium to large ripe persimmon about 60 minutes before bed, and eat it with the skin on because the skin contains concentrated polyphenolic compounds that add additional antioxidant protection. Pair your persimmon with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil or a small handful of pistachios because the healthy fats dramatically enhance the absorption of zeaxanthin and beta-carotene, both of which are fat-soluble and depend on dietary fat for optimal uptake through the intestinal wall into your bloodstream, where they can be transported to your retina and deposited into the macular pigment layer where they belong and where they will protect your vision for years to come. There you have it. The 5 best fruits you can eat before bed to protect, nourish, and strengthen your eyes based on real peer-reviewed science and clinical research from some of the most respected eye health institutions in the world. From the sleep-enhancing anthocyanin power of cherries all the way up to the unmatched zeaxanthin delivery of persimmons, each of these 5 fruits brings something uniquely valuable to your body's overnight eye repair process. You do not need to eat all 5 every single night. Even picking just 1 or 2 and making them a consistent part of your bedtime routine can make a meaningful difference in your long-term eye health over the weeks and months ahead. If this video helped you learn something new today and you want to keep getting simple science-backed tips to protect your health as you age, please hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching.